Hello everyone, this is Leandra behind the camera here at New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program in Lexington, Kentucky. And today we wanted to bring to you Cover Me Up, who we call Player. His his dam is named Clothes Fall Off. Is that right? Somebody double check me on that.
Yeah.
So of course, it's a very appropriate name for him, Cover Me Up. And he is a 16-1 Thoroughbred Gelding. He is eligible for the 2024 Thoroughbred Makeover, so he qualifies for our $500 off discount. Ava's riding him today. We wanted to showcase him a little bit to you all live. So again, this is Cover Me Up, a 2019 16-1 hand gelding. He is a very handsome, very kind face. He doesn't mind my sidekick, who is been running between his legs. Here he is. Clothes Fall Off is his dam's name, yes. So his name is Cover Me Up, which I think is fantastic. Scandalous. He's got a really nice build on him, really good shoulder, really stout, well-built body. So at 16-1, you get a lot of different shapes and sizes. You can have some who are really narrow, some who are broader, and he's got really good bone on him. He doesn't mind at all any of the things we've been throwing at him, including Salty running around at his feet. He doesn't mind. So Eva, if you want to take him out there, go for a little stroll with him. Let's see what he can do. If you haven't already seen his profile, it's already up on our website at horseadoption.com. And you can find him by going to the tab that says Horses. And you'll see all the horses who are available and listed on our website already. This is Cover Me Up. He's a 2019 gelding at 16-1 hands. I believe his sire is Mastery. It's a really nice stallion. So check out his profile at horseadoption.com. You'll see Cover Me Up's beautiful pictures. You'll see a video up there. And he hasn't been getting that much interest recently, which has left us all dumbfounded because he is a catch. So we wanted to show you a little bit of him live, and he just today has been stepping over his first little cross trails there. You can see how quickly he has taken to it because he steps over it like he's done it before. But this, I promise you, is just his first day doing it. So very handsome horse, pretty straightforward. It's got a good engine to him, but it's never seeming like he's trying to run off or anything. He's a pretty good balance of all of that. And he's still young, so of course he's trying out new things. This is what happens with young horses sometimes. They'll be game while something's new. They'll kind of double think it, and they're looking to see, oh, did you really mean that I should do that? Like what just happened, and he still decided he was going to go over. He was going to be a good boy, do what we asked, which is very kind. Throwing new things at him. I think he's going to develop into a really nice horse. He's got the right build for it. He's still got some of those young muscles that are well shaped for the racetrack world, where they have really strong shoulders and not as much of the sort of what we call the collection muscles. So the ones that they need to really rock back and ask them to do more advanced type moves, but they haven't needed to use that. There's not a whole lot of stop, back up, graceful transition. There's more speed work, and it gets these kind of flat muscles. They're what I'll call kind of the quick twitch muscles going, so they can accelerate, but they're not being asked to do the same thing. So he still needs to work on developing some of those. He's going to be a great candidate for low to mid type career levels. He just had a soft tissue injury left front in his superficial digital flexor tendon. And I like to call that the easiest of the soft tissues to rehab. So if you're going to be rehabbing a horse, and he's already been through his rehab, so that's not even his story. But if you're going to, the superficial is relatively easy. Obviously, there's going to be scales of different magnitudes of different injuries, but the superficial is, like its name implies, the most superficial, so it can be easiest to get to if you're trying to do remedial therapies like lasers or shockwave, and tends to be a shorter rehab in many cases than something like the deep digital flexor tendon or the suspensory. So, as is the case with many of those horses and with Cover Me Up, they can come back from that and still have very capable career paths. I've seen a horse in the Grand Prix jumper ring with having previously bowed both front superficial digital flexor tendons, and he was still doing great. So by all means, they can rehab, come back, and have great careers. And we always emphasize conditioning being something that is one of the best things you can do, if not the best thing you can do, to support horses who have had previous injuries, or any horse who hasn't had any injuries and you just want to keep them from potentially getting injuries, because just because they haven't had one already does not mean that they are immune to it. So one of the things that I was just saying is that you can support them with conditioning, because horses do not have muscle below the knee. They have muscles above the knee, but it's soft tissue structures below the knee. So if you have a nice elasticity, looseness, suppleness, and conditioning appropriate for the job that you're asking the horse to do, then you're going to be in a good position. If you don't, if you have spots of tension, if you have muscle deficiencies, then what you're doing is leaving the soft tissue structures in their lower limbs to kind of carry that burden, and that's not really fair to them, and that sets them up for injury. So a lot of the horses who might have had a soft tissue injury in the lower limb, they'll have really tight shoulders sometimes. Sometimes it's on the opposite side. But, you know, like when my horse had a pretty significant injury to his superficial, and he had a really, really tense shoulder, and the chiropractor actually pointed it out to me, and he said if they can't use that, if that muscle is locked up and they don't have the full articulation in their shoulder, then when they go to have this big step, this big stride, like they would when they're racing especially, then the shoulder's not going to be supporting them in that full arch of their gait, and so that leaves the lower limb to try to make up for that, and that's when you get that hyperextension and the tears in the fibers that cause those injuries. So best thing you can possibly do is make sure your horse is well conditioned for the job that you're asking them to do. Make sure that their whole body is going to be supporting them, just like with any athlete. That's what you would want to do, so that you're not putting undue stresses or forces, especially when you've had a previous injury. But other than that, they can go on, do plenty of things. So again, here we are, Cover Me Up, a lovely prospect, really sweet, kind eye, kind soul, really, really sweet horse, 16-1 hands, just about the most perfect ideal size to go in any direction, and he's still looking for a home. So go ahead and check out his profile at horseadoption.com. If you go to the horses tab, you'll see plenty of horses, but this guy right here is Cover Me Up, and he's looking for his forever home. So check out his profile. If you haven't already become an approved adopter, you can click the link on the profile to go through that process. If you're already approved to adopt, click the link that says email us about this horse, and let's get this party started with Cover Me Up, because he needs a home. So don't miss out on the opportunity to adopt him with a discount. Adopt him now. He's still looking for a home. And thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good one, everyone.